Kalitri Prime, a tomb world like no other. This vast planet sits on the edge of the Digopian system and has been lost and long forgotten for many a millennia. However, unbeknownst to the Imperium, recently something has begun stirring, and it's angry. A passing Dark Angels cruiser notices some strange activity on the surface and sends a small force down to investigate. However, all contact is soon lost. Azrael himself joins the second party with a much more substantial force, but their retrieval mission takes a threatening turn when the mysterious Necrons rise up to take on once again the invaders. Barrington Edward Smith III has fought off many an insolent aggressor before, but will the Dark Angels have too much this time? Hi there everyone, Chris from 6++ here, and today I'm joined by Paul as we take you through this 2,000 point Strike Force battle set on the Tomb World Kalitri Prime.
Hi there everyone, I'm here against my will.
Yep. Necrons have just received an update in which some of their more interesting options now have the core keyword, so it seemed a great opportunity to see what they are now capable of, and what better test for them than Paul's unkillable Dark Angels. Feeling confident, Paul?
As always, Dark Angels will stand defiant against this Xenos scum.
Charming as always. Let's take a look at the lists. Barrington Edward Smythe III has come out of retirement since his major winning performance many moons ago in 8th edition, and has a host of new toys to play with. As is so often the case, the Necrons are a custom dynasty with a 6-inch pre-game move and everything OBSEC, which enables them to play the missions well. The goal of the list is early board pressure with highly manoeuvrable units, and the Wraiths and Scarabs are the backbone of this. They have great movement, especially including the pre-game move, which enables them to be threatening to the enemy's plans early doors. The Wraiths can be reasonably durable with their 4++, and the Scarabs are always quite the nuisance. Coming up behind them in Wave 2 is the 20 Warriors, who pack a punch at close range and can be quite tanky, and the Scorpec Destroyers, who could size down a lot of things in close combat. The Destroyers have always felt overcosted, especially the Locust kind, but now they can be My Will Be Done and Veil of Time, so we'll see if there is some more play in them now. A couple of vehicles round out the list. The Ghost Arcs stay by the Warriors to help resurrect them, but can also act as a move blocker, and the Tesseract Arc adds a bit of hitting power and irritants. What's looking key in your list today, Paul?
Obviously, I am super excited to be bringing the First Legion to the table. Today, the Dark Angels will be running a mostly Deathwing contingent with a sprinkling of Greenwing in for some flavour. As is always the case with the Deathwing, their durability is what makes them shine, with everyone's favourite permanent transhuman. Alongside this, the other tricks the Dark Angels can utilise is their Grim Resolve chapter tactic, which gives them +1 to hit when a unit hasn't moved in their turn. With this list, I've tried to build something incredibly durable with a decent amount of shooting threat, which comes in the form of 10 Assault Hellblasters. Being able to advance and shoot with 30 shots that can be pumped up to damage 3 with weapons of the Dark Age really makes the opponent think about putting anything out in the open. In regards to durability of the army, it's hard not to talk about one of my all-time favourite units, which is the Deathwing Knights. Not only are these guys incredibly scary in combat with their Maces of Absolution, which are basically Thunderhammers hit on a 2+, but with a Pennant of a Remembrance relic from the Ancient giving them a -1 damage, and a Chief Apothecary, aka the Ambulance nearby, for a 6+ Feel No Pain, plus their native +1 armour and their 4-up Invuln, they can really take a pounding. Speaking of characters, the Dark Angels have brought along both Azrael and an Interrogator Chaplain. Azrael is the Warlord today, and as Chapter Master of the Dark Angels, he provides a lot of utility to the army in the form of 2 CP, a 4+ Invuln against range attacks to units within 6 inches, and he can also pick a unit in the command phase to put them back a doctrine. The Chaplain is being used as a fast-moving combat threat who can break away from the castle and start to disrupt the back lines. With the Benediction of Fury, Mantra of Strength, and the Imperium Sword Relic, he becomes an absolute monster in combat.
Sounds pretty terrifying. Today's mission is Retrieval, a 6-objective mission in which 5 primary points are scored for holding 1 objective, 5 for holding 2, and of course 5 for holding more. Secondaries always have a huge impact on how the game is played, so what have you gone for today, Paul?
So I've gone for Stubborn Defiance, raise the banners and grind them down. The army is built to sit on objectives and Stubborn Defiance plays nicely into this, as does banners. I have a limited number of units and so grind them down could work out quite nicely, although it would be better if I go second.
That's great. I have chosen Raise the Banners as well, as with my pre-game move I can get to them quickly. I've also gone for Rod, as that's the job of the Crypto Thralls in the list. And finally I went for Purge the Vermin, because Paul's list is quite slow. It's now time to head down to the battlefield and check out the deployment of the armies. Before we do so, if you are enjoying the content, please give us a like and a subscribe, as it really does help. Alright then, deployment is complete on this beautiful board. Paul, would you like to talk us through the Dark Angels deployment?
Yep, so I've got unit of Terminators at the back holding the home objective. Got the Blade Guard on either flank ready to jump up forward, maybe do a bit of banner action, and then in the middle we have the ever so lovely Azrael Castle that can ready to go either way depending on who gets first turn and how.
So what you're saying is they go both ways?
They do go both ways.
That's what we like to endorse here. And you've got Hellblasters over here. They are on the bottom floor, by the way. In terms of the Necrons, you can see we kind of just hidden. We've got Scarabs and Wraiths on this side. We've got pretty much everything else on this side. We've got the 6-inch or 5-inch pre-game move just to help us out at the beginning, so we can push up and take some of the board, hopefully. Now it's time for the roll-off. Okay, so all-important roll-off, although is it that important in this game? Probably not. Would you like to go first or second, Paul?
Second,
all the time.
Always second.
Always second. Okay, well, as your guest, have a roll.
Oh, missed the box.
Excellent. 4. That's a 2.
Angels first.
Dark Angels are going first, so we'll come back once their movement phase is complete. Okay, the Dark Angels movement phase is complete. So pre-game move, we kind of just pushed up more into the ruin, which has had a bit of a negative side effect, as we'll find out shortly. Now I've got some Scarabs in there. And then we've just moved up a bit more into the flank. So what is the plan, Paul? Right,
so we've got 2 squads of the Blade Guard on the objectives, raising banners. Got the Terminators on the home objective, which is the Stubborn Defiance. They're also raising a banner. The Hellblasters got a mighty 6 inches on their advance.
They did, which has quite the impact, because it means they can now all fire into there and are all in range of the unprotected troops, so that could be quite painful.
Yep, I've put one of the Hellblasters inside on the objective, still keeping coherency, but it just means that I've now got 6 models on the objective that are objective secured, so if you decide to yeet your Scarabs over, you can't just take it off me in the first turn.
Cheeky. Alright, well, there's only going to be one set of shooting, and that's going to be very painful, so we'll come back with that next. Here we are, the nasty Hellblasters. They're out in the open, but they have got a target in sight. So let's take it away, Paul.
Right then, 30 shots. We're hitting on 4s, but thanks to Azrael's Chapter Master, we get full rerolls on this. Oof. We're winning on 3s. See what we can do. Everyone's going to be a dead Necron.
5s rerolling 1s.
Oh. Typical Chris. Yay!
1 resurrects out of 15 dice.
Deserves a round of applause.
That's sad times, boys. Right, well, clearly the reanimation protocols are a bit rusty on these warriors. So we're down to 8, but don't worry. We have got ways of bringing them back, and I'm going to spend 2 CP to auto pass them because they can still be really useful in this game. Other than that, that's Paul's turn done. So he's started Stubborn Defiance, he's raised some banners. We're now going to see what the Necrons can do as their turn 1 comes up next. Right then, we have done some movement. Obviously my turn got off to a really exciting start where I wanted to reanimate some warriors. I spent 1 CP so my Ghost Arc could bring back D6. Rolled a 1. Then my Technomancer got going. Rolled another 1.
Standard.
So I brought back 2 warriors. So they've just come back here and they are going to, they've just rodded in that corner. Then I spent quite a while thinking that I might Veil of Darkness these destroyers to the back corner and shoot the Hellblasters from behind, and then charge my Wraiths into the Blade Guard. But I thought, well, why not do it the other way around? So these guys are positioned so they're just in range and they're not taking the -1 to hit penalty from the trees, and they have been My Will Be Done, so I'll be hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s. And then the Wraiths can charge into the Hellblasters and hopefully kill some of them because they're damaged too. Advance the Scarabs up here, and the Ghost Arc's moved up there as well. These Scarabs advanced, rolled another 1, because I was hoping to really move block those Deathwing Knights, but I didn't get the roll on it. And these guys are positioned here so that they're just out of charge range, but they will have a relatively nice charge into the Blade Guard if they want to do anything other than just stand and stare. So, shooting phase up next. The destroyers have lined up their target. It's showtime. So they're hitting on 2s for My Will Be Done. They're re-rolling 1s because they're hardwired for destruction. We're unfortunately wounding on 4s because these guys are permanently transhuman. But I have spent 2 CP, so I'm only down to 2 now, in order to re-roll all failed wounds. So I really want to clear them out. So here we go, 15 shots, hitting on 2s. Wounding on 4s, re-rolling. So 11 4-up invulnerables.
Ooh, not great. I will CP1 just in the hopes of... Love it.
Nice. So 5 go through. So 3 wounds each, so the first one. So that means 1's dead. Next one. Oh, yes.
Is that 2 dead?
That's just 2 dead. Sad times. Okay, so after that atrocity of shooting, we've now fired the Ghost Arc in, and I did 2 wounds, so 1 guy's left on 1 wound. And then the Tesseract Art fired into the Deathwing Knights and did 1 wound in total, and that was the sum of my shooting.
Good effort.
So it's not been the most productive turn so far, to be honest, so let's hope for a bit more. And the Wraiths are going to deliver. So they're going to charge into the Hellblasters. We worked out that I can just come on fight on top here and fight down, and therefore be staying away from the Blade Guard. So we're going to do that. I'm going to roll a 4 or more.
Or less.
Rolled an 8. In they go. The Wraiths are ready to rumble with the Hellblasters. Hellblasters decide they're not just human, they are in fact transhuman, and so they are now being wounded on 4s.
2 CP well spent.
20 attacks, hitting on 3s, because they were My Will Be Done. Wounding on 4s because of transhuman. Oof. Oh my word. Okay, well that's not very good. Wounding on 4s, is it? It's not very good at all.
Classic Chris.
So now we've got 2, just 2 at -2.
So that brings me up to a 5-up save. They both go through. Damage.
So 2.
6 up, feel no pains. The first guy is dead. And the second guy is dead.
Nice.
And do they get to then attack on death? No.
Okay, so that's the end of the turn. As Paul removes his just 2 models. So if I was to say how that turn's gone, not great. Obviously Paul's now going to fight back with the Wraiths, into the Wraiths. So yeah, we'll do that and then come with my high quality talk recap afterwards. Right, the Hellblasters have fought back, managed to get through 7 wounds, of which I failed 5 3-ups, so that was a dead Wraith. And that is now the turn. So in terms of success, there wasn't really any.
Great success.
In terms of output, it couldn't have gone much worse if I tried. I feel like the race should probably have killed a few more Hellblasters than that. On the plus side, I do take the banner away and now hold this objective 4 to stop him from scoring that. So
sad times.
Not that that matters too much, because you'll still get your 10 for primary. So
yes.
All it does is takes away the banner, I guess. So yeah, not really the turn that we were looking for. And obviously now the Dark Angels are whomping their way up the board. So we shall see what happens in their movement phase coming up next. Right, the Dark Angels are looking to punish the Necrons. What's the plan, sir?
Right, so over here we're just trying to stop you doing the same trick you did over here, which was bringing over Scarabs and just taking the objective off me. So
yep.
If you want to get on this objective, you'll have to charge into the Blade Guard, which is never going to be good for you.
No.
Chaplains come over here, trying to keep out of line of sight, but take away these Scarabs so you don't have that option. And everything else is just going to try and clear what we've got over here.
Clear the area!
So we've given Chapter Master rerolls on the Hellblasters.
Because they can shoot in combat.
They can shoot in combat, yep.
Fun.
Yep. The Knights, I've paid a CP to put them in the Assault Doctrine so they can reroll damage against the Ghost Arc. And I've brought back a Blade Guard and healed the wounds that were on them in the Knights. And then I think we're good to go from there.
Fun for the whole family. So shooting phase up next, so we'll come back and see if the Hellblasters can chew through the Wraiths. Right, we've done lots of plinky shots, and the overall outcome of that was 2 wounds to this Scarab base and 1 wound to a Scarab base in that ruin. So now's the big show. Can these Hellblasters shoot and kill these Wraiths? So normally they'd be hitting on 5s, but because they didn't move, they'd be hitting on 4s. So it's 24 shots hitting on 4s.
Plasma goodness.
So 20 hits and winning on 3s.
So 3s.
11 5 up, not 4 up, invulnerables because of the Apothecary. So as you can see, 3 dead. Because 1's already on 1 wound remaining. So, time for the Dice Gods to bless me with all of the reanimations in the world.
Good effort.
So I needed 3 5s to reanimate there. As you can see, I've rolled 2. Moving into the charge phase, and I think there's going to be some dead things here. So we'll start off with the Deathwing Knights, and they're going to both the Scarabs and the Ghost Arc.
Yep, so we're 5 inches away, but because I'm within 6 inches of my Chaplain, thanks to his Canticle, I'll get plus 2 inches to my charges.
So just don't roll a double 1.
So nothing but a double 1. And 10, that'll do.
That'll do, cool. And then the Blade Guard are charging into the Wraith and the Scarabs, so they need a
pretty much
automatically in.
The Hellblasters, they'll charge the 1 Wraith that's left alive now that I've shot and he's killed out of combat. So they'll be in with a 4.
Yeah.
And then the
Chaplain is just automatically in as
going
well.
for there.
Cool, right, so we'll move that in and then we'll see. Obviously I'm not really going to be interrupting, so we'll see what damage can come about now in the fight phase. We have obviously got 1 more because it wouldn't be a battle report without forgetting stuff. These guys deep struck in here, and obviously I totally forgot about that and haven't screened out, and they can now charge my Veil of Darkness, which could be quite critical. So needs a 9.
Here we go. 6, 7, 8, 9. Booyah.
Into the fight phase, we saw the Hellblasters have done 1 wound to this lone Wraith so far, and now we're moving to the big boys, the scary boys, Paul's favourite.
The Deathwing Knights.
So 1 guy with his flail mace thingy is going into the Scarabs, and then 5 are going into the Ghost Arc. So what's going first, sir?
Can I just double check my within Asriel range? I am just out, so that's fine. So we'll do the flail into the Scarabs. We're hitting on 2s. That is all hit. We are strength 6, so 2s to wound. That is 3 wounds.
How much damage each?
There are 3 damage each that spills over. I might CP. I need to get rid of them scarabs. Yeah, I'll CP one. There we go. So that's 12 wounds to the scarabs.
12 wounds to the scarabs. So the scarabs obviously died, and then they got to reanimate. So that's 4 reanimations. So that's 16 dice. Rolled 2 5s. So there's no scarabs. We aren't really reanimating very well today.
Sad Necron noises.
They're very sad Necron noises. But I have pulled them out of combat. And he won't be able to pile in closer to them because of the because they're closer to the wraiths. So at least he survives. So that's exciting. Unless
morale could be an issue.
Morale. Lely ship 10 and we've lost 4, so be okay. But then the rest of the attacks into the Ghost Ark. This is the fun stuff.
So we've got 5 guys with maces, 3 attacks each, so 15 attacks, hitting on 2s. We are wounding on 4s because you have transhuman.
Yeah, quantum shielding.
But luckily, and thank God, I paid a CP to put them in the assault doctrine, so I get to re-roll all these wounds.
Which is sad, so sad. We've got 8 5-up invulnerables. Currently I'm taking 24 damage.
Yep.
Which would be me dead. So I need to roll some 5s, Paul.
You've done well so far with the 5-ups.
There are some 5s on this dice. Come on, Mr. Ghost Ark, you can do it. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I didn't roll anywhere near enough.
No.
At all. So that's the Ghost Ark just destroyed. Does it explode? No. Oh, there's your 5. But no, it does not explode. So let's move on to the rest of the fighting. Outer Plane is ready to mince up some lowly scarabs. So we're hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s. Each wound is a dead scarab base, and we're 6s to wound. So this is going to be fun. I just need to roll you some 1s. You just roll some 1s.
Yep, 7 attacks, hitting on 2s. There's 1-1.
There's 1-1. So I know lots of 1s here, please, and no 6s.
So we're looking at 2s to wound.
They've not got any sort of defense.
That is them dead.
Just give me something, Paul. Just something.
Loving this game.
Bye-bye, scarabs. So we rolled the Blade Guard off camera. 6 went through. Remember, they normally have a 4-up in vulnerate, but it's down to a 5 because of the Raven Wing. And look at my saves. Yes, you'll notice there's 1 fail there. And I've thought about re-rolling it. But it's just not worth it because that will then just put me down to not enough CP to be able to reroll wounds with the destroyers and also try and res this guy who's almost certainly about to die. Speaking of which, seamless segue.
Oh yes.
Just go for it.
Thunder Hammer, Hammer of Thunder. 4s. Good job.
Oh, hello. Things just got interesting.
It's alright, we've still got the lightning claws. These are hitting on 3s. We can't kill you.
He cannot die, that is fun.
Toughness.
I wish I'd just spent my CP now. Toughness 4, probably.
So we're 4s re-rolling. Oh, there we go. 3 wounds, -2.
-2, so 3 6-up saves. Bosh. He takes 3 wounds. And then we'll do our exciting fight back off camera and come back with the turn debrief. Oh, you're on camera, Paul. It's so exciting. Hello. So, what do you think of your turn then, sir?
I think it went quite well.
Yeah, do you? No, great.
I was a bit annoyed that I didn't kill your character. Thunder Hammer's hitting on 4s is never that fun. But
he's there with 1 wound. What
especially when you're used to your Deathwing Knights hitting on 2s.
Yep.
The Scarab base living also was a bit of an annoyance.
Yep.
But I think I can deal with that next turn. But
overall, I don't know.
Overall, I think I'm in a relatively okay place. I'm quite happy with this. I'm still scared of your destroyers and your choppy boys.
So I think they're going to have to come out to play quite soon. So yes.
Yeah, they've got some work to do.
They sure do. Right. So it's the Necron phase coming up. We'll turn 2 coming up next. Right, okay, so Necron movement phase is complete. I spent a lot of time umming and ahhing about how on earth to try and get out of this Dark Angel's size hole that I'm currently in, and taken quite a while to work it out. And have I got the right answer? Probably not. So basically the big decision has been, what do I do with the destroyers? So I thought, well, maybe I could go into the back corner there, clear out that sort of stuff. But the problem was then the Hellblasters kill them. Then I thought, well, maybe I stay here and shoot into the Deathwing. But then the Deathwing Terminators don't really die and then the Hellblasters kill them. So then I thought, well, I could go over there and shoot into the Hellblasters. And that was a potential play. I was like, oh, I'm not sure, because obviously Hellblasters can shoot when they die. So I'm not sure if that was the right play. Instead, I opted to move here, okay, because this terrain blocks line of sight along here, so it's really hard to get shots on. So they're just going to plink away, and hopefully these guys are just going to die, which is good for my Purge the Vermin. The Scarabs have moved along here to give me an option of either charging in here if the Slapling dies, and if they don't, then hopefully they can go in and finish him off. We wait to attack. So that's why the Tesseract Arc is here, as is, and he's also protecting the Chronomancer, who can shoot in there. Most have come across here because they're going to go and try and slice and dice and just gradually start working their way through that objective, and hopefully just not fail all of their wounds like last time. So yeah, that's the plan. Is it the right one? I don't know. This is obviously the key turn. Things speed up a lot more after this. And then finally, Cryptophores over there rodding for all the glory. So yeah, we'll come back with the shooting phase next. There is a Terminator-sized hole here where the Destroyers and the Warriors have worked together to kill. And now it's time for El Slapilano to die. So we're going to start off with the Chronomancer. So he's got D3 shots from his Aeon thingy-mabobby. So that's 2 shots. Hit on 3s, I think. Both hit. Strength 5, doesn't matter. Transhuman.
Transhuman.
4s.
Permanent.
Great, excellent. It's not gone well. Nothing. He ignored invons as well, that's just sad times.
That's what you get for using my dice.
Yeah. So this time it's the Tesseract Arc. So 6 shots on the Gorse. 4 hits.
Dark Angel symbol fails me.
Yeah, I'm using Dark Angel dice here. 1, 2 at -3.
4 up in 1. What's the damage?
D3.
Yeah, let's CP that.
CP reroll.
Nope, into a 1 again.
D3 damage for 2.
He's down to 3.
Then we've got the big gun. D6 shots.
1. Yeah, you lose.
It's a 6 pull, not a 1. 6 shots hitting on 3s.
Good effort. That's what we like to see.
After that abomination, wounding on 4s. I'm going to have to spend a CP to reroll that. Great. 1 4 up invulnerable. Off you go, Paul.
We've got a fitty. Oh, he loves it.
Into the charge phase we go. This guy has not died. So Scarabs now have to come across here to try and finish him off, and they need a 4, did you say?
It was a 4, yep.
Get a 7, so they're in. And then this lone base will go in.
I saw the 1 then.
7. And then over here, we've got the Wraiths are going into the Infiltrators at the back. Need a 6/7, something like that. So I'm just going to roll a big roll and it'll be fine. Cool, so we've rolled the 6. So we're now going to have to go and remeasure that and see if it definitely...
No, 6 will get you up the top.
Okay, so 6 is fine. So that was fun. Off we go into the fight phase. We start over here, of course, because an interrupt would probably quite hurt. And I'm not too worried about the Infiltrators interrupting. So I have spent CP for self-destruct. So on a 2 up, I'm going to do D3 mortal wounds, and I'm losing a Scarab base. Paul has used a stratagem called...
Line Unbreakable.
Line Unbreakable, so only my front rank can fight. So
just on the off chance he does survive.
Yeah, but obviously I'm just going to roll a 6 and do a flat 3 mortal wounds now.
Or the 1.
Or I'm going to roll the 1. What do we think?
It's going to be one or the other.
Yeah, here we go. Come on.
2-sided dice. Yes! Classic.
Well, that wasn't quite according to plan. So we're now going to see if the 4 good boys are going to do their job. So we're hitting on 4s, but 6s auto wound. Oh, there are some 6s. Wounding on 5s. 6 3-ups. You need to fail half of them. Just give me this, Paul.
Statistics.
Just give me this.
I will CP reroll one. He lives! I'm pretty sure of that one. You might want to check that footage.
We've checked the footage. Pause a cheat.
Slow-mo replay.
The slow-mo replay showed that actually it was a 1. So he does die, and he's going to spend 2 CP to fight on death because he's going to try and kill the 1 lone scarab base, which will mean that then he kills 4 and I can only kill up to 3. So therefore giving him grind them down. So let's go for it, sir.
So yeah, so I'm going to do 3 attacks into the lone base, and he'll put 4 attacks into the big squad. So into the lone base, 2s. That base is dead.
Yep.
And then into the other bases. And 2s to kill. So that's going to be 4 bases dead and a wound from the mortal wound.
Nice. So we have 4 invulns. Remember, they were Chronom and Tron did. So 5 up invulns. Here we go. I made 1. So 3 bases dead. I'll do the reanimate and then we'll move on to the next combat. Time for the race to kill some infiltrators. Woo. 20 attacks hitting on 4s. Wounding on 3s. 7 5-ups. He needs to make 2.
1. They're dead.
Yay, I killed something. And with the death of the infiltrators, that's the turn. It was okay. I guess I did what I set out to do. Paul's now out of CP. And yeah, we now just wait to see how much pain is inflicted on the fight back. Lots of thinking going on here, making those Dark Angels think.
There was a lot going on, yeah.
So what is the new plan?
So the new plan, we need to get some banners back up, which does seem a bit of a waste of utilities when you've got such expensive units, but the Blade Guard, raising the banner back on this objective that you took down.
Yep.
The brick of, the 400 points of Deathwing Knights.
Raising a banner.
Raising a banner.
Yeah.
The Hellblasters, their job is to kill the Crypto Thralls and hopefully kill the Scarab bases.
Nice.
The Bannerman's given objectives secured around everywhere.
Cheeky.
The Ambulance has turbo boosted his way all the way back here to drop their invuln to a 5-up, and the Blade Guard are hopefully going to go to town on them. That is the strategy. That
is the strategy. Now we get to do the shooting. Right, here we go into the fight phase. The shooting phase did happen. The Scarabs died because they didn't want to make any invulnerable saves, and they're probably going to die anyway. As did the Crypt Thralls in the corner. And that was kind of it, really, wasn't it? So we're now into the charge phase. And we've got a showdown of Blade Guard versus Wraiths. Hopefully all the Wraiths don't die. That's the goal, Paul, so don't do it to me.
Come on. Okay? 21 attacks. Hitting on 3s.
17 hits. Damn you, Paul. Wounding on 4s.
Gee. Oh, there we go, there's a dice. And wounding on 4s.
Normally would be 4 up invulnerables, 5 up invulnerables because of this cheeky chappy. Let's go, boys.
Standard.
3 dead Wraiths. Let's get reanimating.
1 comes back.
Time for Revenge of the Wraiths. So we are hitting on 4s. Wounding on 4s.
Toughness Deathwing.
2 at -2.
4-ups. Damage.
2 damage.
Feel no pains. We felt some pain.
A little bit, just a little bit. So that means 1's left on 1 wound, so that's great. So that's not ideal. So there you are, that's your turn, Paul. What do you think?
I think it went quite well. I was hoping to do a bit more damage to the Wraiths. 1 coming back wasn't ideal, but I suppose that's the first time you've actually brought something back worthwhile. So. I can't be angry.
Thought I'd surprise you.
Can't be angry at that, so yeah. No, I'm quite happy with that, I'm pleased.
Good, right, it is Necron turn 3 coming up next. Okay, Necron movement phase is complete. Trying to work out how to score the most points here. Sacrificial Lamb. These guys have gone over. I rolled a big enough advance to take that objective, so that's bangers. Knocked down again. Scorpio Destroyers have done absolutely nothing in this game because they haven't quite had the opportunity. Praying for a late game push with them. Failing that, they could just rod for my final one. Over here, the Race of Fallen Back, because they can charge fall back. The Tesseract Arc is there. And the Destroyers we have veiled. If I can deal with those Hell Blasters, then they're going to shoot when they die, but if I can deal with them and not completely die on the fight back, then that just removes the shooting threat, and that gives me 2 turns. Remember, I'm going to be able to run onto objectives at the end if I have anything left alive. So with that, we're going to do the shooting phase next. Okay, so we're into the shooting phase right now. The Warriors over by the Terminators did 1 wound, time well spent. Now I've got the Tesseract Arc who's going to fire into these Blade Guard. So we're going to start off with the Gorse. Running on 4s, because that's life.
2.
2 at -3, sir.
1 goes through. Damage.
1d3 for 3.
Yahtzee. No.
So 1 dies. D6 shots for 4. Hitting on 3s. Oh, they all hit Paul.
Ooh, spicy.
Very spicy. Wounding on 4s. Oh, 3. At -3, sir. Each one is flat 3 damage.
4. I'll take that.
1 goes through. Don't roll a 6.
Do we feel pain? We felt pain.
1 dies, so we'll take that. It is the turn of the Destroyers. So 1's going to shoot into Blade Guard because he can't actually see the Hellblasters. And then we're shooting into Hellblasters with the other 4. Now I know the Hellblasters can shoot when they die on a 4-up. It is a risk I'm willing to take. I've spent my last 3 CP to give me rerolls to wound, and they were my will be done before they got zapped over. So hitting on a 2 into the Blade Guard. Rerolling 1s, because that's what we do. Wounding on a 4 with rerolls. Reroll. Cool, so you've got 3 saves on your Blade Guard, sir. -3.
2 go through.
2 go through.
Yeah, I'll wear that.
Okay, so the first one does 2 damage, so 1 Blade Guard dies.
What is the other one? I've got feel no pains.
Oh, sorry. 2, so you've taken 4 damage.
2 6s! Nope.
No 6s.
Doesn't even, just adds up to 6.
Yep. So there you go. So that's another dead Blade Guard. Now it's time to take on the Hellblasters. 2s, re-rolling 1s. For the first time in this game, wounding on 3s with re-rolls. Here's the 3s. Here's the re-rolls. 10 4-up invulnerables from Azrael. Cool, so here we are. D3 damage, dead, not dead, so therefore dead, dead, dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dead. Let's see how many get to shoot on 4-ups. Please don't be many.
1.
1. Okay, I will take that. He's shooting back into the Destroyers with his 1 guy. Are you overcharging, Paul?
I'm overcharging because he's already dead.
He's already dead.
2s. And strength 7 3s. 2 at -4 5.
Don't get safe. So that's 1 dead guy. Does he reanimate? No. Into the fight phase we have gone, and the Wraiths have obviously made their charge into the Blade Guard. I wanted to try and kill both the Blade Guard and the Raven Wing because it would have been good for my Purge of Vermin, but alas, that has not happened. So here we go. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 4s.
4 saves.
4 up invulnerables.
1 goes through. 2 damage. Feel no pain. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Well, it's been a while, hasn't it?
9 attacks. Hitting on 2s because we didn't move. We're wounding on 4s.
So 4 up invulns, 6 of them. 1 dead wraith, but he comes back, doesn't he? Oh, so close. And with that, that is the end of the turn. It is a close one, ladies and gentlemen. So as you can see from the score, so moving into Dark Angels, turn 4, coming up next. Movement phase is complete. Paul, what is the plan to make your victory sweet?
Right, so got characters hiding on here on this objective, which has already got a banner still on it. The Hellblasters haven't moved, and they're going to Weapons of the Dark Age try and eradicate these boys that have been a pain in the arse. Ambulance brought back a friendly blade guard to
yay! Woo! Wraith, but yeah.
We've got the Deathwing Knights. They are heroically going to go for the long bomb charge.
Yeah. Who needs the short range charge? Just going to go for a 10-inch.
And the Blade Guard are going to go into the Necron Warriors that are out there.
Nice. So the big rolling, the one everyone wants to see, is of course, can these Hellblasters overcharge and take out these 4? These don't have any defensive buffs, so they were out of the 5 up invuln range. You can tell this is my first time with this army for quite a while. So let's go for it. So number 1.
So 2s.
All hit. Number 2.
2s.
All hit. Great.
Nope.
Number 3.
All hit.
All hit. So that's 9 hits.
3s.
3s to kill. I need this to be a horrible roll. It's a very good roll. So that is dead.
Dead.
That's a lot dead. Big moment in the game, I think. So we'll do some plink shots and then we'll come to the charge phase next. Into charge phase we go. Blade Guard, and you've changed your mind, haven't you, Paul?
Yeah, we're going to go. The Knights are going to go.
It's a bit risky to have just the Blade Guard do it. So what do you want to charge first?
We'll go with the Blade Guard. It was a 6, 5, 6, 7. That should be in.
And then Death Knights, just don't roll double one.
There.
Nice.
I would have failed the other charge, so it was worth doing.
Yeah. So there we go. They are now some very dead warriors, and then we'll have a fight over here, and we'll let you know what happens. Combat has been completed. As you can see, there is a Necron warrior size hole there where the Deathwing Knights did their thing, and then over here the 3 Blade Guard killed the Wraiths, who kind of have done nothing really this game. I'm always torn on Wraiths, and once again they let the team down. But I do still hold that objective because OBSEC and all that. So yeah, scores are neck and neck as we go into the Necron turn 4 with not much left on the board. My word, this game is close, and we're now into Necron's turn 4. We've done our movement. So the Tessarch is just here. He was piled into by the Blade Guard once they killed the Wraiths. Scorpex have gone over here and rodded. Really high quality use of
it's like my
this blender unit.
Raising a banner.
It's not that great. He's right on the edge there, meaning at the next turn they'll need a 10-inch charge to get to him. And the Cryptothralls have come over here because they're quite a beat stick when they're by a when one of these guys, the Technomancer, they might be able to kill the Ravenwing Apothecary. You never know. So yeah, we're just going to do a bit of shooting, and then we'll come back and show you the fight phase. Mr. Tessaract's Arc did not want to do anything and caused 0 wounds to the Blade Guard. Cryptothralls have made their charge, and they are going to kill this Ravenwing Apothecary because the Technomancer's there. And as you may well know, Necron fans, they become huge beat sticks. By that I mean they go from 3 attacks to 6 attacks and now hit on 3s. So here we are. Are you ready for death, Paul?
I'm ready for this.
Good. This could be an incredibly hilarious moment.
Good start. That's what I like to see. 4 misses.
I don't. We're in on 4s.
So
what you're saying is...
The dream is gone.
The dream has gone. 3 at -1.
4s. Oh, there's one on your shoe. Save 1. And then feel no pain. Takes 2 damage.
Takes 2 damage, and then we will do the other fighting and then we'll come back with turn 5, because as you can probably tell, there isn't much left, and we can kind of work out what's going to happen from now whilst Paul is on the floor.
Hiya.
Dark Angels, turn 5. Whoa, it's close. As you can see, these Terminators have moved over here. Blade Guard have stayed in combat. These Hellblasters have just shot and killed this Chronomancer. These guys are over here. They're going to need a 10 to get into this character here, kill him and hold the objective.
Raising a banner over
there, sorry. But the big thing is, so I can spend my 1 remaining CP to try and bring this guy back. Because if I do, then assuming other things go my way, then that will just help me massively with holding this objective at the end in like the cluster mess that is going on over here when these guys finally decide to do anything. So, the dice gods haven't been the kindest, but they are about to reward me because I'm coming back on a 4-up.
Oh dear.
Charges are nearly done. As you can see, the Terminators are in here. But it's time for the 10-inch long bomb. Paul saved his CP for this very exciting moment. Don't roll a 10 and upset me.
So we're going to go for the 11 instead.
You're not invited back if this happens.
Boxcars!
Dark Angels turn 5 is complete. After that disgusting 10-inch charge, which was obviously a 12 because of boxcars, they've now come over here, killed my character. Really happy about that. And over here, Tesseract Art died, didn't even explode, which would have been quite handy. Crypt Thralls also died. Things aren't looking great for the Necrons. I'm going to have a think and see what can be done, but no promises as we go into the final turn of the game. Right then, Necron fans, you'll see, or maybe you've done the calculations, unfortunately victory is not possible. What could have been 15 points and maybe some more stuff has turned into no more Purge the Vermin and a potentially only 10 points on secondary. So we were thwarted at the death. Would it have been enough? I'm not quite sure. And I don't want to work it out because it might make me sad. However, the Scorebacks haven't done anything this game. They're going to kill the Blade Guard. I'm going to kill all the Blade Guard and then move on to the objective. And then I'm going to hold that objective. So that's what's going to happen because they've not done anything this game. Paul has, because he's like that, has spent his remaining CP to make only my frontline fight.
Just to knock one out.
Just to lock one out. So here we are.
They're that confident, point your fingers even facing the wrong way. So don't need to look.
So here we go. Now, the big blades, 2 of them, that's 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s. I've just suddenly thought, do they re-roll 1s? I'm just going to skillfully pretend that I'm not looking at the book. Do they re-roll 1s? They do re-roll 1s because they are hardwired for destruction. So that's good, isn't it? Learning the rules all the time. Cool. Miss, miss, miss. Now, obviously, normally it would be like strength 7, but you know,
Toughness 7.
Toughness 7 apparently. Great. So you've got 1 invuln so far.
Go through.
Flat 3 damage.
He's alive on 1 wound. Standard.
Gotta hate Paul. And then the other guys. 3s rerolling 1s. Yeah, just reroll these 1s. Once again, 4s to wound. You can see the potential if we weren't going into. Oh my word.
That's perfectly average.
Oh yeah, so I just saw all the 1s. I was like, what's not again?
Minus.
4. Minus
More than
3.
3. Yeah. We make 1. Damage.
2 each.
So 1 guy's dead. He's alive on, takes 1 wound. 2 guys dead.
2 guys dead. And that is going to be all she wrote because I now can't outnumber him on the objective because he's got 6 and I've got 6 on the objective.
And I've got to swing.
And he's got to swing. So that is game. We will come back with the debrief next. There we are, guys. Game is done. Victory for the Dark Angels. What are your thoughts on the game, Paul?
Oh, really enjoyed it. Haven't played Necrons in a while.
Yeah.
It was nice for you to see you guys get to enjoy your new core buff rules. How did you find them?
Yeah, I think you can see like kind of the power there. Just getting those destroyers hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s. Would have been nice to be able to put it on the wraiths a bit more, but they go off and do their own thing. So I think it's the sort of army where you're going to really need to think about layering those buffs and then kind of like applying them in the right place at the right time. But obviously, permanent transhuman is quite annoying.
Yeah, especially when you're everything's higher than strength 4.
Oh,
and my army's all strength toughness 4.
Yeah, like, you know, the Scorpex are blenders in combat with a high strength. The destroyers generally are good at killing elite targets because they're wounding on 3s, re-rolling with the strat. Even the warriors with their strength 5 guns, and it's
Minus
just
2 AP.
Yeah, and you do kind of skip that over. Who was your MVP though?
I think it's a toss-up between the Hellblasters, who did some serious work.
Yeah.
I think they killed all of your shooty destroyers.
Yeah.
They killed some Scarabs and some Thralls. Or it's the Blade Guard over on the objective at the back there, who literally tanked your whole army for about 4 turns. At one point they were down to 2 models, they're now back up to 4.
Yeah.
And then you killed them 2 at the end, so they're back down to 2.
I would agree. Those are the things which were the thorn in my side. I mean, I tried my best to play around the Deathwing Knights. And obviously they're brutal, they're going to kill whatever they touch, so I had to try and play around them as best as I could. And, you know, they killed the Ghost Ark, which I didn't use right. And they killed the Warriors, but that's kind of... it's by the by. But yeah, your Blade Guard were... just them refusing to die over there
held back your tide.
Just held back my ability to take the objective and then push forward. And Hellblasters were always a right pain. I don't have the ability to kind of just knock them aside quickly. And when I went for the Alpha to take them out, or not really an Alpha, more like a Delta, it just didn't work, and then they all died on the shoot back. So yeah, do you think there's any pivotal moments in the game?
I can't think of any. I felt like pretty much for most of the first sort of 2 turns, it was like 50-50. Like, I couldn't deny you anything. You took a banner off me, but that was about it. It wasn't until it got to turns maybe 4 when it was you were running out of models that's when it turned, I'd say. Yeah,
absolutely. I kind of was able to, and that's the thing with the Necrons, it's can you slowly die whilst doing a little bit, and now with the core stuff they've got a bit more killing power, but it's still about just throwing stuff on objectives and dying slowly, unfortunately. I mean, I had the slight lead for a lot of the game, but it was never... the secondaries were a big thing. I think you could have chosen some different secondaries and scored a lot higher.
Changed banners for the moment.
Yeah, banners against OBSEC army isn't great.
I didn't do too bad.
You didn't, exactly. And that's the thing. It was not a great choice, and you still scored like 10 on it or whatever. Whereas for me, Purge of Vermin is an interesting one. I'm not sure what Stranglehold would have ended up with. It might have been a better choice, or even Engage. I'm not entirely sure. And No Prisoners, didn't really score me highly. So, what about you for your list? Anything you'd want to change going forward?
Well, I've been using this for a while now. I've took it to a few tournaments and it plays pretty much how I expect. I'll normally win 2 or 3 games in a 5 or 6 round tournament. I could make it more aggressive. I could make it more tankier. I know that the Hellblasters and the Deathwing Knights aren't meta picks at all, but I just think they're such cool models.
Yeah, exactly.
People underestimate the Hellblasters.
Definitely.
Obviously, I can keep them in the tactical doctrine the whole game after turn 2 with Azrael. So if you charge them, even when they die on a 4+, they'll shoot you in combat. And if you don't kill them on my turn, they'll shoot you in combat.
Yeah.
So they have a very big threat to everyone.
Yeah, and that's it. And some
the
armies...
Knights are just cool.
Yeah, exactly. Some armies are just going to be able to deal with the Hellblasters.
Oh, yeah.
But there are lots aren't. And then, the Deathwing Knights, again, it's, if you've got just so tanky, some armies, again, can chew through them just through mortal wounds or rate of fire, but very few can, and they can really be a big problem. For me, this is my second game with Necrons in 6 months, so kind of interesting to see. I think I'll get better with the list as it goes forward. In terms of changes, I definitely want a command barge in there, just so he can kind of keep up with stuff, dealing out his my will be done. I do like the destroyers. I used to love them in 8th, so it'd be quite nice to try them.
They look cool, don't they?
They do. They're very cool. And
especially the new swirly birdy blade
yeah,
ones.
I like the Scorpex as well. I like more early board pressure. The thing that would be dropped is the Ghost Arc and the Tesseract Arc, if anything goes. So I think next time I'll probably try that.
Chuck in another blob of 20 warriors, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. More warriors. There's just so many options now, guys. But yeah, thank you very much for the game, sir.
Thank you very much for having me over.
Always a pleasure. And
never a chore.
And yeah, that's all for now. So thanks a lot for joining us. Take
Goodbye.
care.